Chi East, I'm Wayne Lawrence. Are you a current business owner thinking about how to run your business and what others are facing? Or are you thinking about actually getting into business? Well, this podcast is for you. Today we're going to tackle, is owning your own business a blessing or curse? And I have Tina Haldiman with me from Larchmere Fire Works. How are you, Tina?
I'm great. How are you?
So you're ready?
I'm ready for this.
You have a really cool, unique concept too. So you've got glass blowing and blacksmithing all under one roof in different places. Tell us about it. What do you do?
So the glass blowing and blacksmithing goes together so well. The glass and metal together are just two mediums that you don't expect together, but when you put them together, it's just beautiful. So with our business, we kind of came at it with, we had these unique skill sets, and my husband and I did not want to have to work for someone else or clock in somewhere or do something that just killed our souls. So we decided let's open a business. And I'm not sure if that was the right direction to, for the soul saving, but I think we're loving what we do.
Good. And you said you both had, and your husband is?
My husband's Cassidy Anderson. Okay. He's a blacksmith.
He does his blacksmithing, right? And how long have you been in business?
We've been in business since 2015.
Okay.
So last year was our 8-year mark. We really started with nothing. We've just kind of built our business with what we have.
Okay.
We didn't get a lot of upfront capital. So everything we've done is just come out of the hard work we put into it. And then what we get back goes right back into the business.
Well, and that's really interesting. It's both just you two both in the business, right? Do you have other employees?
We do have another teacher.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yeah, Courtney Richardson. She's fantastic. She's at home right now currently teaching classes for us.
I'll mention Cassie's in the studio right now.
Yeah.
So that's good. Cheering us on in the background, or heckling. I'm not sure which one. So you both decided to do this, and you said you started with very little upfront capital, but yet you took a retail space kind of, right, for your classes. How'd you make that decision? Because that's a tough decision to take on that commitment itself.
Well, so when we were looking for locations, we looked all over Cleveland. I raised my kids on the east side of Cleveland and Cleveland Heights, so my heart is in that area. When we happened upon the Larchmere neighborhood, the first building we were in, we helped build out, and then they priced us out. It was a high-end developer that just wanted to make a lot of money off of something.
Yeah.
That building is still empty 8 years later, down the street from us. But luckily, we came across someone in the neighborhood who connected us to a homeowner that had a property that was a live workspace. So for what we do, and trying to make money off of teaching art, living and working in the same space has saved us.
Gotcha.
Especially after the pandemic.
Right. Okay. And during the pandemic, since you mentioned that, people couldn't go out to do these type of things. How did you get through that?
So my husband was actually watching the pandemic before it hit us. And so we decided to shut our studio down before it was mandated, before it was really even big in the news, because we just didn't feel comfortable having 40 people coming into our studio on a weekend when this was kind of out there. So we shut it down. We canceled classes. Some of the first people were kind of confused about why we were canceling their class. Luckily, a lot of people were willing to just let us sit on their ticket money until we figured things out. We were able to give some refunds back, but just shutting down and hunkering down in the space really saved our business, because we could not have survived having to pay rent in a space that we weren't making any money out of.
So your model really is based on having events, different groups there. So corporate events, birthday parties, celebration, those type of things.
Oh, yeah.
But you also have kind of your road show. You go on site. You have a mobile component of it. Tell us about that.
So we bought a mobile unit from a great company out of Alabama that makes this beautiful product where it's an all-in-one glass blowing furnace, the reheating glory hole, and the annealing tube all in one.
Wow.
So we can take that on the road and do events. We bought this in 2019 thinking the next year we would have events to go to, which we did not.
Right, yeah.
So last year we actually happened upon a brewery on East 55th that had a lot of extra space. And they invited us to bring the unit in there. And now, a year later, we are blowing glass behind the bar at Goldhorn Brewery, and it's such a cool fit.
Yeah, congratulations too, because I know that's a big deal. Just, being able to reach other people through that. What was that mobile unit? Was it a trailer or was it something you drove?
Well, so that first unit was an 800-pound unit that needed a trailer to move it.
Gotcha.
So
Okay.
we did take it to a couple events, but it was very heavy and unwieldy. So finding a permanent place for it was the best situation. So then last year we actually purchased a smaller mobile unit. So that one fits in the back of our Explorer. We can take it on the road, and Cassidy and I can, go wherever and do shows, which we've already done.
All right. So you started this business through a passion and your own training. Pandemic hits, that kind of derails things a little bit. You have to sort of just, I guess, reset or pivot, whatever word someone wants to use. So let me ask the question, though. Has owning your own business, has it been a blessing or curse for you and Cassidy?
It's a blessing,
Okay.
100% a blessing. For any day that I'm complaining about having to deal with QuickBooks or the website or anything like that, I cannot overlook the fact that when I lost a daughter in 2019, I could shut down my business. I could shut down anything I had to do. And the students understood. And we actually had some of our students come to her funeral. So it made me realize that our business isn't just taking people's money. We are actively making friends, and we're creating a community with people that, revolves around wanting to make things.
Yeah.
And there's no politics, there's no religion involved. It's just the art. It's just, we want to create, and we want to be around people that want to have that experience.
And Tina, it sounds like, very sorry to hear about your daughter.
Thank you.
It sounds to me as if that, community of people who were around you became almost family. So this became just more than just, something to build income on or have a standard of living. Now you have people who are like family, who's really enjoying what you're doing, promoting what you're doing, and kind of taking it forward. How do you increase your business? How do you reach people? Is it through that family, just having a good experience and telling people? I know you do a lot on social media, so that's good. Yeah.
Unfortunately, social media is a necessary evil.
Yeah.
We have to maintain that because a lot of people are finding us through there. We don't really have a lot of in the budget for other advertising and marketing, so it just ends up being word of mouth.
Okay,
We're
good.
just always out there. We're always promoting ourselves, always talking about ourselves. If I'm standing in the line at the bank and I start chatting with the lady next to me, I'm going to hand her a flyer.
Exactly. Yeah. And then once someone goes to your website, what's your website?
Larchmerefireworks.com.
They'll also see that you have your classes there, and it's a really cool site. Very all-inclusive with a lot of different things you guys do.
Yeah, we try to just give people options.
Yeah.
We don't want to make it so they have to come in and they have to do this, and it's so specific, and that's not fun.
You're right. Exactly.
We want them to pick something they want to actually make and
Right.
to have fun with it.
Well, and to piggyback on something you said in terms of just meeting people and getting out there, you and I actually met at a BBB, a Better Business Bureau event. Anyone who watches our podcast knows that I just love networking. I just always mention some sort of connection, but it was a connection. We met. And then when I was there, it was literally a few days after a board meeting I attended for the BBB in which they showed a video of you because that's one of the social media we were doing. I go, you have to be kidding me. We have to have her on the show. So I'm glad we were able to do that. But it goes back to that whole part about just getting out there with your car, talking to people and meeting people and growing your business. Yours is a word of mouth referral, previous customer business.
Yeah, networking.
Yeah.
And that the venue that we were at for that networking event, Kaiser Gallery, has now reached out to us because they want us to bring the mobile unit there.
Gotcha.
So
Okay, good.
everything just sort of, snowballs, ripple effect, all of
Yeah.
it. You get this one group where, maybe it's a team building for work, and everybody that comes into our space or the Goldhorn space, it's their first time.
Right.
And they're looking around saying, I want to bring my family back here. I want to bring my friends back here. So we've seen a lot of repeat business in that way.
And are you always mastering your craft, in other words? So, you said you had training, both of you did, in order to do what you do. Are there new techniques and things you're constantly learning in order to?
So with what we do, we are more about the education aspect of it, and it's more geared towards beginners. So for us, we are just giving people that experience. And it's really got to be basic, because we want it to be hands-on. We want them to hold the tools. We want them to feel that heat. So it's going to, we aren't necessarily working on those skills. Personally, I'm working on my QuickBooks skills and all of that, because I did a program through JumpStart where they helped me get a bunch of the business knowledge that I had no clue about.
Oh.
So they've really stepped up my game in the back end of things. Having a second teacher with Courtney means that she's the one that I'm kind of pushing to, move forward in her craft, because she's more trained than I am anyways. And I know that, if I push her, she's going to go so far.
And you could continue to figure out how to grow the business efficiently. So with two people in a business who are married, it's not always heavenly bliss at work at times, or even at home. One, do you bring work home? And secondly, how do you work through those challenges? I'm going to listen to see if I hear Cassidy laugh or something. All right.
I know. This is one-sided here. It's funny. A lot of people ask us that, because living and working in the same space, we can't help but bring work home because it's in our backyard.
Right, yeah.
So we're always at work. We also like to be so physically close to work, because if the power goes out, we need to know. We need to be dealing with our furnace.
Right.
But we have enough time apart where, we're not always on top of each other, that I think we get enough. But we're that weird couple. We like to do everything together.
That's good.
My parents were the same way. They had a photography studio, and, when my dad came home from his day job, they'd spend the rest of the time doing their other job together. And
so if there's a disagreement,
I admire that. Yeah.
If there's a disagreement, who wins?
We're not we're good at fighting, I think. We're not the type that needs to get loud about it. It's just like, okay, we disagreed about this, so.
Oh, and I know we're sitting here, talking about it and laughing about it, but I've seen you two together, and I'm positive that you guys can work on anything and come to a mutual decision based on how the business would grow. I mean, because at the end of the day, it's about your livelihood, providing good product and services and training to people. And so I think both of you, it's kind of neat that you have this one business with these two components, and you're both, offering them to people who want to learn. So it's almost as if you can challenge each other to who could be better and do certain things. So,
well, it is a challenge because we have to challenge ourselves to come up with new things, because we want people to keep coming back. And if we're only offering this set of stuff, eventually it's going to get boring. So, we're constantly asking, okay, what else can we do? What else can we offer? And we're always growing.
So when you're not working, so you have your home and your office, everything there. When you're not working, what do you like to do? What's fun?
That's funny, because I always have my work binder with me, so I feel like I'm always working because I have to answer the messages and I have to be on top of things. But when we're not working, we just like to relax. We are not party people. We're just going to be at home chilling with our cats, and Cassidy's got his music, and we found last year we found our travel bug. We got invited to a wedding in Italy, so we spent 10 days in Europe, and now we're all about that.
Oh, good, good.
We want to go to all the places.
Yeah. And as a business owner, you know that sometimes it takes getting away like that far away
Yes.
in order to really start to relax. You might
Yes.
think about your business, but after a few days, you're starting to really relax. So that's good. That's good to hear.
I did take my binder with me, my scheduling binder with me, and I
Right.
swear I opened it up once, and I was like, no, I'm just not. I'm not going to do this. But my work went with me to Europe, so.
So you have been able to successfully grow into another location in a sense, a brewery. What's the future plan? How do you see this continuing to grow?
So the mobile unit, the new mobile unit that can go around is going to do some pop-ups. We've got some friends that own other businesses around that want us to come out to it. Kaiser Gallery now, wants us to come out there. I've heard from a winery out in Geneva or Willoughby that wants us to come out.
Okay.
Or not Willoughby. Vermilion. Thank you. Vermilion. Thanks, Cass.
Told you Cassidy was here.
He's got the better memory than I do. If he liked talking, he'd be up here.
Yeah.
So I'd like to take the mini mobile unit
Okay.
out to some events, and it's not just to make the money there; it's to friend raise.
Gotcha.
So we're always friend raising. So
Okay.
when we go to Kaiser Gallery, we're going to be promoting that. We also have things at the other locations.
Right.
So it's just continuing what we're doing and
Good.
continuing to build on what we've already got.
Do you have a succession plan, or is it too early?
Oh gosh, I don't even know. We're not that far yet.
Yeah, not that far. You're still figuring out everything.
My kids actually decided to go the STEM route because they saw that art does not pay. So I've got one in science and one in math, and the others are not interested.
So, and I'll admit, I've been in business for a long time in various businesses, and I still come to this this question: has there ever been a time when you thought to yourself, "Is this really worth it?"
Oh gosh.
And how'd you get through it?
Oh gosh, yeah. There are times because the income stream is not steady. It is not a full year thing. It really drops off at times. So there have been times over the last few years where it just felt really overwhelming. Having learned more about the finances and more about how to look at those numbers has helped me to understand that we have grown and we are always doing better.
Okay.
I just always have to keep an eye on our expenses and our,
Sure.
the overhead. So,
Like most good businesses, to be honest with you.
Right.
Yeah, I think that entrepreneurs need to have some understanding of their basic finances because it can catch up to you really, really quickly if you don't. And being able to, and you took the initiative of getting training through JumpStart. Was it a formal program they have? Because
the Impact program. It's a 10-week
Impact?
program.
Okay, yep.
It's free, and one person at the end comes away with $10,000
Really?
towards their business. But even without that, the amount of knowledge that I came away with really stepped us up
Okay,
a lot.
that's good.
I feel like before that we were just making it.
Okay.
And now I know, no, we're actually doing really well, and we're growing.
Well, I'm glad you shared that with everyone because for those who are listening or watching who feel they're stuck, don't understand their business the way they should, to go towards an organization like that, JumpStart, and take a look at those programs, that's good advice. It's good. Thanks for sharing it because I think it's something that they really should navigate towards and do that. Now, on the flip side of what I asked, there's got to be times when you just say, "Oh, I can't believe I did this, and it's so wonderful, and I can't see myself doing anything else." Tell me when that occurs.
Every time I get a 5-star review,
There you go.
every time somebody posts a picture about their favorite time, the 70-year-old lady that it was her bucket list and she finally got to check it off, and the little kid whose eyes light up when you hand him a blowtorch. I mean, it's those little things that really that stick.
Okay.
I love our schedule. I love being able to make our schedule. There's just no questioning that is my ideal way to live. Not having a boss.
Yeah.
But just what we do, knowing that we're teaching people something, we're giving them an experience that if they only do it once, they can go away saying, I made this thing, and this thing is going to last longer than we do.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. What, actually, when you talked about the little kid with the blowtorch, it made me think there has to be safety parameters that you put in.
Oh, absolutely.
My eyes light up too,
Absolutely.
like, oh boy.
We encourage children.
Yeah.
4 years old and up, we will work with them because they're actually better at listening than adults. Adults walk in and they know it. They've seen this.
Right.
They got this. You can't tell them what to do. But a kid is like a sponge. They are going to do everything you tell them to do exactly the way you tell them to do it. And they're actually safer than a lot of the adults. I can tell you, we've had more success with some of the kids than some of the adults.
Well, I'm sure there's adults who act like kids too, who are just so, thrilled about doing something like this. If you had someone sitting across the table from you and they're coming up, one of the kids, and they said, hey, I thought about getting my own business. I have a special skill. I thought about creating a business out of it. What would you tell them?
First thing, I would suggest doing the JumpStart Impact Program.
Okay.
Because 10 weeks covers 10 different subjects, and you're delving into things that, you know your craft, but you don't know QuickBooks. You don't know social media. You don't know marketing. You don't know your COGS. Yeah. I didn't know what COGS was before I took the Impact Program. How am I running a business not knowing what COGS means?
Yeah.
So as somebody that started a business without knowing anything about business, I would suggest start there. Yeah. That I took an artist as an entrepreneur class in the aughts, way before I started my business. And that information was too soon. I wasn't ready to put it in practice.
Right.
But once you have a business and you kind of have an idea of what you want, getting that in order will help you. And this is what I didn't know, was that getting capital means that you know your numbers. So now I could go to a bank and present my numbers and I could ask for capital and I might get it. Yeah. Back then, I had none of that. I didn't even know what they were asking for.
Yeah, that's absolutely so true. And then at the end of the day, as a business owner, when you look at that P&L, you want to see a positive black at the bottom, not negative.
Yeah.
And if you do see a negative number, you're at least catching it and figure out what do you need to do to address it before it's too late.
Right.
I think that's great advice.
Right.
So,
that was just a pivotal moment in our business was me getting that knowledge. Right. And that really just took us to the next level.
Well, Tina, thank you for accepting my invitation.
Thanks for having me.
I'm sure we're going to see you at a future event or maybe down at your shop, of course. I'm certainly going to see you at the brewery.
Oh, yeah.
I'm glad you went there. And I really do appreciate you coming on and just sharing your craft and your ideas. And, I wish you the best of luck. And I think this is going to continue to grow. And tell Cassidy we'll get him on next time, all right?
Yeah, I'm sure he'll love that.
All right, thank you. All right.
Thank you.
Hey, if you like this episode, don't forget to comment, like, and share.
This podcast was made possible with the support of our sponsors. Find more ways to grow at kyeast.org.